Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to Alex Builds. Today we have got part 8 of our Revell Into Darkness Enterprise build. Okay, so part 8, well, we're actually going to be starting building parts of the actual ship now itself. So we're going to start off with a secondary hull. We're going to build it from the bottom up basically, and we're going to start installing some lights. So let me show you in the instructions what we're going to actually be doing. So here's the instruction booklet here, and let's get to the relevant page. So this looks like it. Is there any more? Yeah. So we're going to install these supports. I have already glued these in. So all you want to do is just take these two parts, and they're going to sit inside these two little recesses here. So I've already done that on one side, but basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to install the windows before we put the lights in. We're going to install the shuttle bay, and also on the next page we can get this part here. We're going to put this little blue window on it, and we're going to secure that in as well, and then we're going to get it all together. We're not going to put this part on today, this part down here. We're not going to be putting that on today because we want to still have access to all the wires and everything. So this will pretty much be the last thing that goes on. So what else are we going to be doing? At the end we can have a look. We can put this part on. This part still does need a bit of paintwork. We can do these parts as well and put these together, and we can have a look what it's going to look like with them on. But these will be removed after today's video just so they can be painted and all ready to go on. So if we flip back one page, we can see the supports here. And these have got a cutout at the top, and they are perfect for fitting the circuit board that I used for the 5-volt converter. That's perfect for that to sit on. So that's where I'm going to put my 5-volt converter. It's going to sit on top of there. So once we've got something that looks a little like that at the top, all our wires can be fed down and plugged into the 5-volt converter and come up into the saucer and sit in the saucer section. Yep, so that's what we're doing today. Hopefully by the end of this video we'll have the secondary hull pretty much ready to go. We'll just need some seam work and everything. So yeah, let's get all the parts up and start building. Okay, so to start off the actual building of the Enterprise, we're going to be working on the secondary hull. This is the lower part of the ship, and this is what the top of the saucer attaches to here. There's going to be a shuttle bay here, and yeah, so we've got our power coming in here already. I've already done the other side as well. And we're going to use this LED light strip tape to light it up, to light up all the windows in there. And we're going to do the same with the top of the saucer as well. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this one. And yeah, so I've cut our pieces off. I've got these come in 3, so there's 3 LEDs, and you can cut them along the copper strip each side, and got a positive and negative each side. And we can stick these on to here, knowing where we're going to be sticking them. So these need to be soldered on with some wire. So I've got some wire here. I'm basically going to place these round, just random places like here, another one here, another one up here somewhere, and another one up here. So it's just going to come, I'm going to have this on both sides, on the other side as well, the secondary hull. These are going to start off here, come through here, up, probably go across to the other side, back up and all the way around the saucer section to light up everything all at the same time. So the first things we need to do is get our cable, and we're going to measure how much we need. We don't need a lot to start off with, so let's start getting that on. So we need a soldering iron for this as well. So I'm going to use the green cable as my positive, and there's a green and white one here. This is out of the same one that I did the warp nacelles with, which you'll see in a video coming up, because I've done one warp nacelle and I'm going to film the other one for you to see, so you can know how to do that as well. So make sure you strip your wires back, just like that. So you've got a little bit on each end, just like that. Twist the ends, and these are going to be going in between here. So we can get, I'm going to start off with these two. So I'm going to connect these two together first, and they're going to go something like that. So I've got some solder here and a soldering iron next to me, and I'm going to start soldering these together. So make sure you've got a nice hot soldering iron. You can test by just touching on some solder just like that. So let's go with the positive first. And you don't really need that much sticking off the end of this, but I like to trim a bit back once I know how much I'm going to need. Trim a little bit back, and then we can actually apply this to the LED tape itself. So now we want to remelt this part of solder that we just put on, but this time we're going to have the wire in there as well. Just like that. That's the first one. Now let's get the second one on. So if you want to, you can lay this down over the top where you want it to go. So I'm using, as I said before, I'm using the colour as positive and my non-colour as negative, and a bit of solder just on there. That's going to hold that on there for us, just like that. And now I'm going to connect this to this side, and there you go, we've got two connected together. So that's going to be for there and for this piece here. So we can keep it going, and we're going to go to this one next. So how far has it got to go? It's not got to go very far at all. So I'm not going to need that much wire for this one. So now I'm going to want this one only about this long. So it's just come over this window in the middle here, and then it's going to help with us brighten it up. So that's this one and this one. Let's get some more solder on here. That's the first one, and now this one. Just like that. And now we've got three of these connected together, and you can test them if you want. So I'm going to put some wire onto this one to test it. So we're going to cut a little piece off now. We're going to test these three and make sure they work. I don't want to keep going on and one of them doesn't work. So let's keep it going by doing a test. Right, so we've got this side out, and this is going to be the one that I'm going to test from, and it's going to go that way. Okay, so we've got our base in, we've got our power coming from our base into this block here. This is going to split off, and I've got the connector that's going to go to our 5V converter here, and these are going to go down here and continue giving us 12 volts into here. You can get these with 5V strips if you want, but yeah, these are 12 volts. So what these are going to do is going to light up like that, and going to light the windows up nice and bright. So see if I can get a window here, and as you can see, we want the lights to come through the windows. So it's all working so far. So far so good. So we can unplug that and we can carry on. And I'm gonna leave this on just for now, just so we can keep testing. So far we've got it for these parts here. So it's gonna come round there, up, and that's gonna go up there. So far that's what we've got. I want one more here, but I'm going to have that one as the last one. So this one here is now going to jump across to the opposite side. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll stick them down. Okay, so I've done all the LED strip that's sitting here, and that's attached to the other side. So now we've got to put, we've got our power cable installed, and we're going to put one for our switch. As you can see, I've drilled some holes into here, and there's one, and I filed them down square. So now all we need is to put some glue in here. Make sure you get it all the way in there, because we don't want these popping out, especially when we've sealed the ship up. So go crazy. Right, let's get this one slotted in. This should be a nice snug fit. Get nicely lined up with the edge of the ship, just like that. And as you can see, I also filed down this bit here. That's to help us with the location part on the actual base itself. So these are going to come up and go up here. So we're going to put the windows in before we attach these two parts together. So for the windows, I'm just going to use regular super glue, and I'm going to put it on the points where it's not going to shine through the window. So just here and here and along here. Right, so I'm going to go with these. These are all on sprue A, and slot them in, get them in place, hold it there for a couple of seconds, let the super glue take. Once that's done, you can put the next one in. So I'm going to go with this one, big dollop in the middle. And get this one in. Fairly straightforward, the windows. If it was, any of this was on the outside of the ship and you could see it, I wouldn't be using super glue for this. I'd be using something like canopy glue or something like that to keep it nice, you know what I mean, because it will change colour when it dries. You know what I mean, we want it to stay clear. We want nice clear windows. If you want to, you can spray paint all these windows or paint these windows in a clear blue, and they'll shine through clear blue on the opposite side. Alright, last window now, just to go in here. And let's take that one. This is the smallest window here. Just like that. At the minute, you can't see there's any windows in there, but on the back you can. And so this is the other side. As you can see, I've got all the LEDs installed in here, and I've also got the main supports, the power inlet, and my part for my switch, which is going to go up to the switch. So now we've got to be sticking these together, but first I'm going to put on these LEDs. So let's start peeling off the tape from the back, and we can stick this down on this side. Just using a screwdriver just to help it get it off. And take all the tape off first. I'm going to glue this together in 2 steps when I do it, because the back of mine, where the actual shuttle bay is, warps out. So to relieve the stress, I'm only going to glue the first half, and then I'll glue the second half. Right, so that's that bit on. So now we want to stick this piece underneath these wires. So one's going to go right about here, just spat bang right in the middle there, and then I want the wires to go either side of this window, and one just here right by the shuttle bay, just like that. And the other one is going to come up, making sure we don't get it in this bit, because we need these grooves here for the the supports to go into. Right, so now we need the modeller's glue. This is ready to go together. So I'm going to stick the top this half together. So I'm going to run some modeller's glue down the edge here, and making sure I get it in the holes, and just here as well. So I'm going to do the first half of the ship, and here as well. Right, just like that. Now we can fold these 2 parts together, making sure we don't catch any of the cables, and stick them together. May take a few moments to get these located in the right place. Get this cable out of the way. So that's that bit in. I am going to use some masking tape just to hold these together for me, just around certain points. So around here, keep it nice and tight, and all the way down we want that. At the front here as well, I'm going to put some more. Trying to get it as tight as I can, and underneath here as well. Okay, so this is dry now. I've left this for a few hours to dry, and there's not too much of a bad seam down there. I think I will need to put some filler in just in a couple of places down there. Right, so now we're going to sort out the power before we start sealing this up. So I've got the two cables that are coming from here for our power, and I've removed them for where we were using, and we'll just plug in straight into the base. So now we're going to plug this into here. So I'm just going to use this chocker block for this that we were using before, because I've got enough space in here. So we want the red one going into the positive. So feed that in and screw that down. Just like that, make sure it's nice and tight. And then I've got this one is the negative. So this one's going to go in this side. And then we're going to screw that one down. Can solder it and use some heat shrink if you want, but I've got enough space in there that I can use this. So now this can be tucked through the other side because we don't need this hanging out. Right, so we're going to need this part here. For this to the side, we're going to need this one here. And this little window is going to go on the front of it. I've spray painted this with a clear blue. As you can see, it's transparent blue. So I'm just going to attach a little bit of super glue with a cocktail stick just around the edges of this part. So I'm just going to put some in this little tub and then grab our cocktail stick, and then I'm going to apply some glue just to the front of here. And down here. And on here as well. Right, so now we can take our window and slot that into place onto there. I've got to hold this on here for a few seconds just till the glue takes to it. It should look something like that when it's done. So as you'll notice, this side is still white, this side is grey, because this is going to be the inside. There's a part to go on here, but I don't know where it is at the moment. I took it off to spray paint it white. It's in the box somewhere, so I'll dig that out later and I can apply that on later. So we're going to leave this to dry for a few minutes, and we're going to bring in our 5-volt regulator, which is this one here. So we want our voltage in to go into here, so we can actually plug this one in right now. So let's take this part and plug it in. And this is going to slide underneath here, up and rest on top of the supports in here. And we should be able to see the three parts that are we're going to be plugging into, because they're going to go in the saucer. So we can slide this down underneath there, keep going. Eventually we shall get there. There we go, perfect fit into the slot of there. And now let's just slide that forward all the way, just like that. And then you can see down there we've got our 3 buttons just down there. That's where we're going to be plugging in the rest of our connections. So we can, if we want, we can apply a little bit of glue to this just to keep it in place. So I'm going to put a little dab just in the corner, just down here, just to keep it in place. Alright, now we need to get the part that goes in here in. So we can move this chocker block out of the way. Right, so I don't know if you can see on here, but we've got some little tabs. One here, there's one here, and there's one at the back on the inside here. That's where we're going to be locating this on here. So we can apply some modeller's glue just on the inside by these tabs. So I'm going to do this side first, and just on the inside here, all the way down until we get to this one here. A little bit of glue on that one, and down here as well. So I'm going to get this located in, and we need some at the front as well. I didn't put any at the front, did I? No. Right, so now we can slide this in. So that's that side in. I'm just going to put some glue just to pull this to the side. Got some glue, some tape, just to make sure that grabs it, pulls it nice and tight to this side while we're waiting for the glue to dry. And just here as well. So we're going to leave that there to dry, and we're going to pull in the other side now, and we're going to start putting this side on. So we're going to do exactly the same. Some glue down this side on the tabs, Now we can start to put glue down here as well. So I'm going to apply it down this side this time, all the way down, covering all these pieces. And also in this part here for a few minutes, let that dry, and then I'll put the shuttle bay in afterwards. So now I've got it nice and tight, let's slide the shuttle bay in. Which way are we going? This way. So I'm going to slide it in from the back, pushing that forward as we go, trying to get it located at the place. There we go. Now we've got to go nice and tight. As we can see, we've got a bit of a gap at the back because of the shuttle bay door. So let's get some tape. So now we've got it, pulling it tight as we go down. We'll have to touch this up with paint for the when I tidy up the seams anyway, so I'm not too bothered about this white paint here. Just trying to get this seam as tight as I can get it now, especially up here as well. So let's make sure we've got that nice and tight. Don't worry about the cables because they're going to be tucked inside. There we go, we can have that right there. That's going to dry nice and dry for us right there. Just missed a tab here. You need to make sure you're getting these tabs in. There we go, that's better. So I'm going to drop a little bit of glue just down here, just to seal up this seam. Did I get this tab in at the back? Yes. So let's get a bit more in this corner because it's come up. Push it right the way down. Right, so that's what you should have, something like that. As you can see, we've got some seams to tidy up here. So yeah, we're going to be needing to touch up the white paint. Okay, so we've taken the masking tape off the front, and as you can see, there's not a bad seam down there. It's just in there we might have to fill, just where the torpedo bay is, and just here there's a little gap there, but everywhere else is not too bad. I'm leaving the tape on here because this ain't quite dry yet, and that's drying in there. So we've got our power points and a location pin to help us locate it. It does look a bit unsightly under there, but you're not going to see that. But everywhere else is going to look really, really neat. All the wires are going to be enclosed in here because there's a top part to go on, and I can put that on to show you, which is this part here, and that's basically just going to sit over the top of here, pushing it down into place into there, and then our warp nacelles are going to sit on the top here. So I'll just clip that on just to there for now. So that's going to sit somewhere like that. And then with the part for the front is this part here. So this is going to fit onto here. Which way? This way. This still needs a little bit of paint work yet. So this is going to slide into here and fit onto the front of here. So that's going to clip into there just like that. And then we can take the front part, which I haven't painted yet, but that's going to clip into here. And these are all nice push fits, so nice and easy. And then our deflector dish, which also needs painted blue, to go on the front there. And that is pretty much the secondary hole, apart from the decals and everything, and the wires to come up these bits here. So there's going to be some wires coming up here to that's why I'm not connecting this piece on yet for the warp nacelles. That is pretty much the secondary hole all finished, and we're going to be working from this. So now all our power can come through these ports from the base. So I've got the base here, and we're going to try it and make sure it all works nicely, and it's going to light up our windows. So let's get it on. So I'm just going to put a bit of tape on here because I don't want to glue this in yet. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tape just on this top piece just to keep it on. So something like that, it's going to sit. Right, so let's now, we've got the 4 ports on here, the 4 pins on here, and our location pin. So we line up the location pin, and that should help guide us into the right pin places, and we push them in, and that's going to sit on the base just like that. And now when we turn the power on, we can turn it sideways to light up all of our windows just like that. We're going to have these 2 parts, these 2 wires just here for our switch. This one here is going to go up to the windows on the saucer, and then we can go down in there. We're we've got the 3 plugs that we can plug all of our circuit boards into, which are going to sit round about here, just around the entrance here on the main bottom half of the saucer. So I'll do a little quick montage, and then yeah, that's basically it. So that's it guys, that is part 8 all complete, and yeah, I really enjoyed doing that one and actually starting to put parts of the ship together. As you can see, we've got the secondary hull already fitted and mounted onto the base, and yeah, really cool. So this is, you can disconnect this like this and the lights will go off, and we can reconnect it if we want. So we just go like that and it pushes on. Quick, easy push fit connections, which is what I wanted. I wanted it so if I was ever going to move house or moved it, I could remove it from the base and store it nicely. So yeah, I do like the way all the windows light up. And this part here, the deflector dish at the front will be blue. It will be that clear blue that I use for the window. And I do like the glow that this part's given off. So I might not light block this part, and I'll put something blue in there to make it glow blue. And it'll hopefully light up all the deflector dish all blue as well. So yeah, really happy at the minute. So I'll probably move on to attaching the actual main part of the saucer, the bottom half of the saucer. I'll probably get that on next, get all the lights in for that, and then we'll start fitting the warp nacelles. So I hope you liked this video guys. If you did, please leave a like down below, and if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Till next time guys, take care, bye bye.